Welcome back. Another fortnight has passed, which means we have a new rotation of free assets on the Fab marketplace. As always, to get these, what you do is you go to the limited time free section. This time around we have a flying fantasy town, we have a mechanic character Sarah, and we have an inventory system fully blueprint 1.3. So to get one of these assets, what you need to do is you go in there and you choose a license, personal or professional. Professional is the one that you likely want to choose because it's like the safest. It includes the most categories of people. So just the short version is pick the professional one, add it to cart, purchase it. As long as you get it for free within these 14 days until the timer runs out, which you can see above the assets, you will be able to use these for any future projects that you have, even though the free period ends in 2 weeks. So that's how that works. So this time around we have the flying fantasy town, and here you can see what it contains. You can always count on a good asset that has a fat cat statue, of course. We have the mechanic Sarah here, made by David Gretz. We can see here what this asset contains. You can see that it has quite a lot of vertices for a weapon, I guess. Maybe it's a very detailed weapon. And lastly, we have the inventory system, which has this. It's claiming to be network replicated, among other things. So let's get these assets and check them out in more detail. First out, we have the mechanic character Sarah, survivor, action, RPG, shooter, woman girl, which is maybe a little bit too much of descriptive words for a pack, but yeah, so that's what this is. This is made by David Gretz. So this is what you get. It's not only a character, it is also a little bit of a few environmental meshes as well. This scene here is what you can create out of it, so the amount of meshes are really limited. So the character you get in this character pack is this character, along with some of the facial animations that you can create with it. You can see here the character in motion with some animations. The pack itself contains no animations, so you get nothing like that from it. It's just the character and the assets around it. So the character asset is this somewhat elderly woman who is equipped for adventures and dystopian things maybe. In addition to that, you also have the different parts that she consists of. So you can see over here we have a bunch of different modular parts that you can use to change her looks a little bit. The amount of parts are not that many. You also have a few equipable items like hammers, wrenches, pistols, gas masks. Also not a large variety of them, but from it you can create a few different variations, which you can see on display here as well. So all in all, a fairly small pack, not super fantastic, but not bad either. So yeah, if you're in the need of an elderly woman character for adventures, this might be something for you. Next up we have the Flying Fantasy Town. This asset pack is created by George Shashnev. And here you can see the demo scene in action. So it's a very idyllic sort of village sort of thing, but when you take a little bit of perspective from this, you can see that this is a little bit more epic looking than that, because we are consisting of, or we're actually placed upon some floating islands. So maybe not super great if you have a fear of heights or anything like that, but some pretty nice looking environments created from this pack for sure. So this pack consists of a little bit over 350 different static meshes, and you have some variations in the materials you can create as well. So in addition to being an exterior scene, you can also go inside of these places and see that you have interiors as well. So you have both, so they can function both as exterior as interior, depending on what your needs for your project is. So all in all, pretty nice, cute looking pack. It's not stylized, but it for some reason lends itself in that sort of vibe for some reason. I'm not entirely sure. So I think this might be a fairly flexible asset pack. Last out we have inventory system. fully blueprint version 1.3 by Gamma Studio. So this is a blueprint system that is heavily inspired by Resident Evil, and the demo has issues. So this is their demo running on 5.5. If I approach these items here, you can see it's not the video locking, it's actually the game, because there are a bunch of things in this demo that really should not be inside of a demo. A demo should be pretty flawless in its execution, and this is unfortunately not that. Each of these segments here describe some of the features that are available in this inventory system. You can open it up with I, and you can see you can have items and you can move them around. You can see everything looks fairly copy-paste from Resident Evil. You can move things around and interact with things in that manner. You also have a crafting system, so if I go over here and it lags a bit again, then I pick up this, I can go into my inventory system, and now I can go and combine this item with this item, so I get some extra first aid packs. So just straight out from Resident Evil. In addition to that, you also have, in accordance to Resident Evil, you have the ability to save and load. So you have typewriters in the game that uses save stations. You can put up some hotkeys. So you can put a weapon, say they want to make a shortcut, then you can place it somewhere over here, and then you can easily maneuver it that way. You are supposed to, according to this, drag and drop item or select it and press the move on the object. It doesn't really seem like that's functionality here. So as it is being presented, it feels like this is incredibly tailored towards using a controller, and for that this kind of interface is fine, but if you have a user interface that is specifically hand-tailored for a controller, that means it doesn't lend itself very well for someone that's using a mouse and keyboard. So yeah, it's not very nice to work with as a mouse and keyboard player, essentially. But the feature set is fairly complete when it comes to comparing it to Resident Evil. You can take up items and you can inspect them as well, which is a part of what you can do in Resident Evil. Let's actually run over to the segment where you can do the loading and the saving. I do not believe that it's over here, no. So over here we have storage boxes. You can go and store in one box and pick it up in a different box, all according to what is used in the games. Typewriter, this is where you save, though you can't see it because the screen appears. So it's a manual save point, and then you can load it manually by going to your P key in this case. You also have shops in this game, or this project, so you can buy and sell items for money. I'm not entirely sure, it was a long time since I played the old Resident Evil games. Not sure if that was a feature from there, but yeah, so here you can go into different groupings and buy and sell things from vendors as well. And the game also supports a few different weapons. So you have a shotgun, you have a automatic rifle, and you have a pistol. You can see here some information regarding that. And yeah, you can walk up here and pick up a rifle, and then you can equip it, and then you can fire it, and that looks something like this. So not very, I don't know, immersive, I guess, with no animations. I'm not sure if the demo is just not showing it, but the same thing happens with the pistol. You just have sort of recoil. So this is a general thing throughout the whole demo. I didn't spend more than a few minutes, and I was just overwhelmed by the amount of things that felt like they needed at least like one pass of testing before it was released as it is. But Yeah, a little bit disappointing. So I decided to look a little bit into the code, and unfortunately this code is not fantastic. It is functional for the most part. This is sort of the main hub of the game functionality, the inventory blueprint component. The main gripe I have with this is that this game is littered with delays all over the place. Making different actions, and then you encounter a delay before proceeding and stuff like that. There are so many delays, and a delay is usually an indication of that whoever made it doesn't really know or understand the underlying functionality of how the code is supposed to work or how it works. So, in my opinion, that leads to a system that will break down eventually, because if something is put in as a delay for half a second and then suddenly whatever that's supposed to be waiting for takes 0.6 seconds, then the code isn't working as inspected anymore and it's just breaking down. So that's why you would prefer something that's more event-based when it comes to logic. So as such, I would not recommend this to be used as like a project that you build upon. Maybe it's something that you can, unless you want to rewrite large portions, of course, to fix the issues that are here. But more, I would say, like something that you can look at and take inspiration from, maybe. Again, this project is supposed to be replicated as well. Even in replicated mode, there were things that weren't working as expected. So I'm not sure if it's buggy, incomplete, or just unpolished. So it's difficult to make a proper assessment about it. But first impression, not great. Too many delays and stuff like that. And also it feels like this blueprint component has a little bit too much functionality in it. It should probably have been broken into more smaller parts or something like that, because it has weapons and all kinds of things in it as well, which sort of makes sense in an inventory system, but sort of also not, I guess. So yeah, so that's the impression I have of this project. Anyway, that's going to be all for now. Hope that this was useful. As always, keep on learning. Take care. A big thank you to all of you who like, comment, subscribe and share my videos, or through other means support this channel. You are what makes this channel grow and become a resource for other people to learn from.